Let's move into McKeesport now. Coach Matt Miller returns with 4 on offense, 5 on defense. Most notable of those is going to be Assad Robinson at running back. He's the lone holdover from the triple option last year, but they're going to have guys coming in to replace some of those graduates. Caleb Rice, Kanye Thompson at running back. They're going to have guys to run that offense, guys that have grown up playing through the triple option, and the defense looks impressive as well. So going against some of these newer teams that they haven't faced, in a couple of years, how effective do you think it's going to be for that triple option against, especially against teams like Laurel Highlands, West Mifflin, teams that they're going to be battling for playoff spots with?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big advantage for McKeesport this year playing all these new teams because they have the advantage. These teams haven't seen the triple option offense probably in their whole high school career, if not whole football career. So that's definitely going to be the big thing this year for McKeesport is them having that unique offense in the triple option that teams you don't see much more at all. If you think at the college level, really, your military schools, Army, Navy, Air Force are usually the only ones run the triple option. I think Georgia Tech used to. I don't think Paul Johnson's still there. I don't think they still don't run the triple option. But that's a hard that's a hard offense to prepare for in 1 week. I know I can attest just preparing for the triple option. Western Beaver was our non-conference crossover for 2 years at the single A level, and how hard that was the first time we played them, getting ready for that. And then, the next year we had majority of the same defense back and seeing that same offense, and then the first year, we end up losing to them by 2 touchdowns. The second year we end up beating them up at their place. So, like I said, this is the year for McKeesport, though. Having the advantage of them not seeing that offense so much. And what they return, Assad Robinson is one of the best athletes in this conference. And, there's a lot of great athletes in this conference. But Assad Robinson is definitely up there when you think of great athletes in this conference this year. McKeesport definitely, though, has the upper hand on their opponents this year.
Yeah, and when you're looking across the roster, some of the most underrated players in this conference kind of come from McKeesport because they're kind of overshadowed by the style and system that they run. Terrence Glenn at tight end and in the defensive backfield, I think, is one of the most underrated players in this conference. Colin Lyons on the offensive line, another really impressive player for them. But when you look at who they bring back against, again, only 9 starters out of 22, do you think they bring back enough to help them compete for even a conference championship with TJ?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about the triple option, as I've mentioned before, it's an offense. You're just going to grind out clock, and going to keep that defense on for a long time. And TJ, they like to play guys both ways. So if they keep that TJ defense out there long enough, and then they're going to be worn out on offense. That could be huge for McKeesport this year, and I think McKeesport has a legitimate chance coming down to 4A and not only win the Big 8 but even win a WPIL championship. So, like I said, I really think they have the upper hand in all of 4A because of their unique offense. Not a lot of teams are used to, and they have the athletes too. It's not just the offense; they have the athletes as well.
And then I have their most intriguing game. We already touched on this, but home against Bella Vernon, week 1. And then they wrap up the year against TJ as well. So kind of interesting bookends for their schedule. That if they're able to win that game against Bella Vernon, they're going to have a lot of games to kind of get things set heading into that Thomas Jefferson game.